me put my phone on silent.
Oh, we are live on Facebook, Alana.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's working. Our meeting is now streaming live.
Yes, honey.
Oh my gosh. My hair looks
We're live. I mean, it really should be called like Facebook Alive right now.
Facebook Alive. Facebook keeping us alive.
Listen, everybody, that's how you know people are alive right now, because they're live.
Right?
You know? I've never seen so many live accounts in my life. I haven't done it. This is my first time. Oh my God, you're popping my live cherry.
This is your first one? I'm popping that live cherry?
You're popping my live. You
oh
deflowered my live flower. I don't know.
Your live flower. It's like you're alive flower.
Yes.
Watch
us be Puerto ridiculous.
It's you. It's all you. And that's what I love about you, is that you're always you.
Aww.
You let me know when you're ready and we'll like officially begin.
No, I tagged the wrong Jason. You see, you can't take me anywhere.
It's okay.
No, I didn't share it.
That other Jason needs love. Oh, okay.
No, he does not need love. We won't talk about that.
So while you're sharing that, I'm just going to introduce your bio, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to read it right from AlanaJohnsonActor.com's bio page.
Tell him.
So Alana Johnson is a New York-based Puerto Rican actress, stand-up comic, hip-hop improviser, and writer, best known as the star and creator of Too Grown on BET Digital. Her other projects include Blue Bloods on CBS, and Horror Time, produced by James Franco Elysium Bandini, as well as regular stage appearances at stand-up across New York City. She was a finalist in the 2018 ABC Discovers Digital Talent Showcase, and she performs as part of the Hilarious Show and the Hip Hop Improv Squad, DMXX.
Hold on, I want to...
DMXX. Shout out to DMXX.
My booze.
You got me amped up. I'm crazy right now.
You got you amped. I'm getting like, sure. I literally started sweating like as... I don't know if it's because I'm nervous or I don't know. I think it's
a little bit of nerves.
You give me heart palpitations because I love you so much.
Oh, I love you so much. And your bio didn't even say that you're a phenomenal singer. You're a phenomenal dancer. You're like, and you know, everybody knows, or if you don't know, now you know that Alana's like one of my most favorite people in New York City. She's my stage babe. We've worked together so many times. We were in acting class together. I met you through the school that I worked at, and we were in class together. Like, she's a phenomenal talent. And I love that you're always just fucking you. Like you were saying about like, oh, do I have to curse? It's okay if I curse? Or like, how do you feel about that? And I was like, just be you, you know? Like, just be exactly who you are, because people can't help falling in love with you.
Oh,
that's what I was gonna say.
Stage bae, stop it.
I love you. I'm happy you decided to do this. I'm happy you're joining me.
Thank you for asking.
My printer is like, oh, of course, boo.
Why you gotta print? What are you printing? We doing a script? Are we doing a script?
I don't know why. I haven't used my printer in a month. Like I don't know what I'm printing, but it's going off for some reason.
It's anyway. Going off by itself?
Yeah. Oh, we have a ghost in my apartment named Lucy, so it's probably Lucy.
Loosey goosey.
Loosey goosey. So welcome. So thank you seriously for being here. You look amazing. Where are you streaming from?
New Jersey.
Where you live, New Jersey? What part of Jersey? Is that no? You don't want to get stalkers. You don't want to get stalkers.
No, I don't want stalkers. Stay away.
Stay away. But you've been home in New Jersey.
Stay away. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I haven't been back in the city since the night before. They were like, stay the fuck home. So I just been in the Jersey, you know?
Yeah.
I've been on the inside. That's it.
You've been on the inside. And if I look down, I'm just making sure that our live stream is going well. We are going to be taking comments. Yeah, I have my phone here. We are going to be taking comments. So if anybody wants to leave a comment or has questions for Alana, why are my lights going out?
I don't know.
Lucy is playing games today.
Lucy, she's like Lucy.
Lucy is home.
Is home.
Let there be light.
Domestication.
All right, y'all. This is live, as y'all can see.
I was just rambling.
Thank you for rambling for me.
Talking about how I'm hungry, how I've been baking muffins.
Well, here we go. So like I was saying before we got interrupted.
Jason's so unimpressed by my muffin making skills. Wow.
I love it. I want to hear more about your muffin making skills. But if you guys have comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the Facebook live that we're doing here, and I will get them to Alana. So leave your questions, leave your comments, and I'm going to read them to her. So yes. Anyway, Alana, how are you doing?
I'm splendid. I'm perspiring. I'm hungry, so I'm thinking about food, which is one of my favorite things. Why did I just hear myself? I just heard myself.
Yeah, you're good. So you're perspiring.
Good? Okay, yeah. But also, I'm just like on the inside, I've been exercising a lot.
Good, yeah.
I've been like doing 2 a days for the past 4 days because what the hell else am I gonna do? And I'm also a trainer, so I've been training people virtually. So I've been, bossing people around via the web, and that's awesome. They pay me for it, so it's fine.
That's good. Get money.
They want to be told. Listen, some people got to be told what to do. So I tell them what to do, and I take that burden off of their shoulders because thinking can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah. It is. Not everybody could be as quick on their feet as you are.
It's like a lot.
So I'm glad you're doing well. This is a crazy freaking time right now.
It is.
Like I feel like some people don't realize how crazy that time that we're in is. Like
I feel like 3 to 7 times a day I find myself saying, no, really though, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like because it's insanity.
We're in a movie, we're in a film, we're in a thriller.
What kind of film you think this is?
I think apocalyptic thriller, horror, it's bad. Drama.
Yeah.
Shit is coronavirus. Shit is getting real.
Shit is getting real. No, it's true. It's a crazy time, but you know what? That's why I wanted to do this show.
Right.
Because I wanted to bring a little bit of positivity into the webosphere. I wanted people to be able to watch this, like other creatives who aren't creatives, people who just want to get away from coronavirus, because it's important, and we're not trying to ignore this huge epidemic, but we want people to feel a little good, feel like they can be not consumed by that 24/7. Right. Because the negativity, listen, we're all connected, like energetically, we're all connected. So, we have to do like a collective shift of consciousness, and stuff like this is the only antidote, if you will, to make that happen. So, we got to put out different energy. That's all we can do. It's very, very true. And try to fix that shit. You're doing it. So, you have this new blog. We're going to start with that because you sent me this blog.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't read it the first day you sent it to me because I've been doing 20 other thousand things. But when I finally sat down and read this, I was dying. Because I could hear it. I can hear it and I can see you saying all these words because that's just you. Like you have such a way of storytelling. Yeah. So can you tell us what Puerto Ridiculous is, why you started it, where we can find it?
Okay, so basically, you know that I love to write. Of course, I'm going to give you like a convoluted ass answer because that's just who I am. I'm very wordy. I'm very verbose. I don't know how to be brief, and I like to complicate things. It's fine. Good, babe. It's who the fuck I am. So, basically, I think a lot. Yeah. I think a lot. And I like to think that I have some very unique and absurd thoughts, not just thoughts, but stories and experiences that, I feel as though certain things have happened for no other reason than for me to repurpose it and share it. And also I feel as though our stories are not just meant for us to hold on to. I think they are meant for us to put it out there because you never know who might be able to relate, I'm the type of person that I tend to be kind of raw. I tend to be kind of brutal, not brutally honest, but just like, because I think brutal honesty, I don't think that's the right concept. I think there are things that there are things that I'm just not afraid to talk about. And there are things that, it's funny. My father always told me, may he rest in peace. He always told me that one day my mouth was going to get me in trouble. And like, I'm happy to say that he was right because there are things that we should be able to talk about that are still so stigmatized.
Oh, of course.
That make people uncomfortable because of how, especially as a woman, like I love to talk about my vagina, and that's like the one specific blog that the one post that I sent to you specifically read was because it was literally all about my vagina.
It was.
I love to talk like these. There's certain things that should be normalized, and just because of the patriarchy and you know the way that this society is shaped, right, in terms of you know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable to talk about, which one I'm pretty sure was deemed by a man who was white. So like fuck what's acceptable, you know what I mean? Like fuck what's acceptable, like what does that even mean, like according to whom, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're just things that I like to make people uncomfortable, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, because that's where the magic happens. You know?
And it's also like I like that you say that, because some of the biggest pioneers have been women who aren't afraid to go there, right, and to make people feel uncomfortable,
right? And
you
even
know, starting. No, go ahead.
No, just you know, you're mentioning women specifically, like I have sat in circles talking about things with women that have made them uncomfortable, you know, and I must say that, and you know, I'll get judgment stares, I'll get side eyes, but ultimately I'm just like, well, you know, somebody has to say this shit. You know, somebody has to keep it real. I feel like that's my job, because I feel like not only am I good at keeping it real, I'm good at articulating it in a specific and, you know, outside the box, like, wow, I would have never thought about it like that kind of way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a gift. And I feel like that's a gift that I am supposed to share.
And that works for you, is like who you are. Like it's you're nobody else but yourself. And that's what I've always admired about you, Alana, what I've always loved about you. And like, I know like we've had like, you're one of my closest friends, honestly. And I know we've had like private conversations, but I feel like you've always remained true to who you were and who you are, and who you present to the world is always your truest self, even though like that may not be how you feel all the time, maybe, you know, but that's how I always perceive from you, and what I've always admired from you. And I try to be more like you, except my comes through like, I tend to filter myself a lot, you know, but I love like when I'm with you and I have that, you have that energy where it makes me just be myself 120%. And I love that. And I always, if I don't tell you that enough, but I thank you.
Oh, thank you. That means so much, because just to, you know, tangent off of that, like for a long time, it has taken me a long time to accept myself as I am, you know, like I have tried to, you know, be the chameleon. I have tried to conform, to blend in, and in all of those instances where I tried to do that, I was always just so unhappy, because I knew I wasn't being true to myself, you know. And if people don't accept you for who you are, or if they don't like you for who you are, they could either, like, you know, open their minds and adapt, or they can walk away. And either way, no matter what happens, it's fine, you know. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that, like, acceptance has taken me, it's been a journey, you know.
I love that. And I'm glad that I'm sure your journey is not complete. Obviously, you're young as fuck, and I feel like we all are going on this journey. We're all figuring out who we are into our 30s, 40s, 50s. But I'm glad that you're at this place that you're at right now. It's inspiring.
I'm getting emotional inside my stomach.
I love it. But you're getting mad hearts. Like that's why I looked away a couple times, because you know when you go live on Facebook, people heart it, and there was like 28 hearts, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, heart me, baby, one more time.
So I loved your blog. I'm gonna post a link to it.
Sure.
I love what you just said about finding that and being so honest and open. But besides being a writer, you're also a phenomenal actress. And I think the reason why you're so phenomenal, and I don't use that word lightly, like you're one of maybe like, there's probably like less than 10 people, I will say, like that I know personally, not like, you know, celebrities, but like people I've worked with, people I've seen, like you're one of those people who you're so good. Like you're so good all the time. And it comes from a place of, I think, of knowing yourself and being truthful, being vulnerable, and being honest, in my opinion.
All I can say is bless you and thank you for saying that. You know, I think that obviously you and I have, we have experience with screen together, with screen and stage. Yeah. And I hadn't done, aside from like being on stage for stand-up and improv, I hadn't done like a piece that I had to memorize and perform in a while, until recently when I did that Stephen Adley Gurgis.
Which I'm so happy I saw. Like, I'm so happy. That was right before this whole fucking shit blew up. And I was telling my friend Demi, and I was telling like you, that I was so happy I made it to that scene night, because it was so inspiring. And like, I hadn't been to a scene night in a long time, but I was happy I made it to that one. And like literally like 5 days later, not even that week.
It was a week later. Yeah.
And within that week, this whole shit started happening. Like, it
exploded. Yeah.
I don't know why I cut you off, but
no, it's okay. I was very grateful that happened that way, but also I don't know. I just wanted to mention that, because like, there's just something about like, I would like to think that when I'm on stage, I leave everything on stage, like everything. Like, I am exhausted after being on stage. And I feel like for me, that's just the only way I can get it. That's just the only way I can be. Yeah. So yeah, any opportunity I get to do that, like, I forgot how fucking good that shit feels, like that shit feels so good, you know, like, I mean, it's kind of like a drug, but a healthy one,
Very true.
So, that's my shit.
So she was in this Stephen Adley Gurgis scene night, like a workshop showcase of like all his work. He's a phenomenal playwright. Can you just talk about briefly the two scenes you did? And
so the first scene that I did was a monologue from The Last Days of Judas Iscariot. And I was Saint Monica, and it was literally, I think I looked at the tape, it was about 7 minutes of a monologue, which, Michael gave that shit to me, and he was like, good luck, smiley face emoji. And I was like, fuck yes, like, this is exactly what I needed to work on, like something like this, because obviously when you're doing a scene, like, there's a luxury to having cues, to like knowing that, oh, they say this and then this is going to trigger, you know what I mean? Depending on how like you do your script work or whatever the case. But anyway, so Saint Monica, I mean, she's like the boss of heaven, she's like that bitch saint, like, and I just loved bringing her to life. And, she basically shits all over Judas, and it's hilarious. Like, you got change for 30 pieces of silver, motherfucker. Like, if you know the whole, I went to Catholic school, so I especially appreciated that. Because of the fact that, like, I had to learn those stories, so to see it repurposed in such a vulgar and hilarious way, just really made my soul smile. And then the other scene, I was home wrecking crazy bitch, which I also love.
From what play?
That was from Our Lady of 121st Street.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Norco
you did great work,
character.
Like usual.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's talk about stand-up first. We're gonna talk about Two Grown. That's like the big thing we're gonna talk about. But of course, I want to hear about your stand-up. I think that ties in with being live on stage. And you said you hadn't done much scripted work on stage in a while before that, because you've been doing so much stand-up, right? Improvisation. Tell us about that. How'd you get into it? What made you like it so much?
So stand-up comedy was kind of always one of those things that I felt like I could do. It was one of those things that I would watch comedians and be like, damn, like, I would love to try that.
Yeah.
I would love to try that, and just command a room.
It's not something easy that a lot of people can do.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And, the thing about stand-up that I feel like a lot of people are, I don't know, misled about is this idea, like that, the image of spontaneity, that's an illusion. Like, that takes writing, like that, like it is a writing job. It is a writing job. So yeah, basically, I wanted to long story short, I wanted to try it for years. And then a couple of summers ago, I was just like, fuck it. I'm gonna go to an open mic, like I wrote things down that I found funny, that I can recall relaying to other human beings and them laughing at. And I tried to, I don't know anything about writing a joke. I still really don't know anything about writing a joke. I'm kind of just like figuring it out as I go. And that can be, writing in general for me is a very anxiety producing process, which I feel like all writers can relate to. It's so ass backwards. Like I feel like writers are the most anxious people in the world, and writing is the most anxious activity to do. Like there's nothing more anxiety producing than a blank page, than you know what I mean? Than opening a fucking Word doc and that shit is blank and it's like, wow, now I need to make, like, it's magic. It's magic.
It is. You're literally creating a world. I remember the first day I did a web series, and like you did, and I remember the first day I was on set, and this was like after we had the redos, which were like awesome, like this was like a almost a year process that we finally got to the first day on set. It was like March 15th, and I just remember like, holy shit, I created this whole world, and it's like it's like weird because you're like, wow, and of course like it's a collaboration, right? But it's like the writer sets the foundation of this world that, of course, the actors and the director and the producers and the set design, they all help to make it. But this is hopefully like what you thought of in your head, but you articulated to the page, that, you articulate to the actors, that they all comes together, and you're like, it was like a holy shit, like, oh shit moment. Like, that's crazy.
No, it really is. It really is. And I mean, talking about like web series and stuff, the thing that I got the most goosebumps over, for my web series, and maybe you can relate, was like when people started saying the name of it. Like, I love, like two, like people like having it in people's mouths, and that I'm like, oh shit, like this is a real thing for others as well, not just for me and my, and here, like this is a real thing now, like something that tangible. Shit. Yeah, exactly. So anyway.
No, it's true. And
where were we?
Like writing. But yeah, that's how I always feel like writing is so scary. And were you in that Gabe McKinley class?
The playwriting?
You weren't. The playwriting class.
I took it a couple years. Yeah.
Okay. So Gabe McKinley's this amazing playwright, and I was so fortunate enough to work with. And I'm gonna see if I can get him on this. I haven't talked to him in a couple of months, but
sure he'd be down.
I would love it, because I only had that one class with him, but I remember the first day he made us write. He was like, we're all sitting, I think it was like 6 or 7 of us in this class. We're sitting around the table. He's talking about playwriting, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, we're going to start. I want to start with an activity. He's like, pass out little slips of paper. I'll have a little piece of paper. I'll have a pen. He's like, I want you to write down your deepest, most personal secret that you never told anyone else. And we're all like, yeah, right. He's like, no, I'm serious. Like, you guys are in this class. That's the first assignment. I want you to sit there. I'm going to give you guys, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes. And everybody's like, like, he's like, yeah, something you never told anybody else.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, okay. And then, there's like, we're all like, okay, like, sets a little timer. We're
sweating bullets.
We're like, right, yeah, like writing. Like, we're all looking at each other.
This shit on blast.
Yeah. So we're done. He's like, everybody done? Yeah, everybody's like clutching on this paper. And he's like, fold it up. And everybody's, hesitantly folding it. I'm like, and he's like, pass it to the person to the right of you. Everybody's like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, pass it to the person to the right of you. So everybody's like, well, we pay for this class. Like, this is the teacher. We take it and we pass it. And so we're holding someone else's deepest, darkest secret in our hands.
Right.
And he goes, now rip it up. And then there's this huge collective sigh that happened. He's like, that 5 minutes of terror you felt, topped with the moment you pass that paper along, how you should feel every time you write. And I would never forget that, because, like, I wrote Shaw, and like, I'm very proud of it. And it's it's not the most personal thing. It was something I wrote out of necessity at the time. But I feel like since I've taken that class, and everything I try to do now, I try to write with that memory in my head of like how I felt, because even now, just talking about it, like, I want to cry.
I remember you telling me this story. And
yeah, it's stuck with me because it was like something like I think only one person knew what I wrote on that paper.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like, are we gonna be like reading this? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I've been in acting classes where you share, so I guess like everybody's gonna know this.
Right.
But that feeling is something I'll never ever forget. So every time I try to write something, I try to come from that place of like that honesty, that sincerity, that scariness.
Yeah, you know, no, it's all good. I think this is very valuable for anyone tuning in that has any desire to do anything like this. How many fucking times am I going to say any in one sentence? Anyway, but you see, I did it again. Recently, a friend of mine, mentor type woman, Katie Berry, who's the one that taught my improv class that I met my hip hop improv team in. Yeah. She did some tips about writing, and I'll just fast forward to the point that relates to yours, which is her advice was, even if you know nothing about writing, screenwriting, we all have memories, and we all have memories that haunt us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
And that is where you need to start. And I was like, I relayed that info to Tim the other night too. And he was like, I've never thought about it that way. Like, yeah, it haunts you. Like, and it's so true. So, you know, anybody who needed to hear that, like, start with if you want to start something, start with the images that keep you up at night, because that's the shit that's going to set you free. And that's the shit that's going to be like masterful, you know? Yes. So anyway,
I think we're getting some comments here.
Carry on.
So we're going to take a few.
Shout out to Tim Cordell if he's tuning in.
Shout out to Tim.
Love you, mate, you wanker.
We're getting a lot of love you, Alana, love you, people. They're talking about my ghost, Lucy.
Your what?
The ghost in my apartment. They said she only haunt you if you provoke her. That's what Carrie said, which is true. Sorry, Lucy.
Yeah, it's because you home and Lucy don't like that shit. She wants the place to herself.
I know, girl. Sorry, Lucy. Question from Carrie. You do so much! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Stand up, acting, producing, singing. God. How do you balance all those things? Do you have a to-do list or put together a daily schedule?
I have a hot mess. I have anxiety and I have obsessive compulsive behaviors. I do what I want when I want. No, really though, I mean, I appreciate the illusion that I like have it all together, because I definitely don't. You know, and that's something that I struggle with. It's a struggle, you know, because some days I wake up and I'm like, damn, like I really wish that I was putting more effort into this. I really wish I was, you know, I really wish I was like shooting my own script right now. Like why am I not doing more stand-up? What, you know, and it can be defeating
and daunting.
Yes, daunting is probably a better word to fall into that. But at this point, where I'm at is like I'm kind of taking the doors that open, that's the door that I walk through. And that I try to focus on whatever is behind that door until it's done.
Yeah.
And then move on to the next thing. And
gotcha.
You know, I feel as though, and that's another reason why I started the blog, because I wanted to just get, I wasn't writing enough. I felt like I wasn't writing enough. I'm one of those people. I've taken classes, you know, I just finished another stand-up class. You know, I did take that playwriting class. I had taken other stand-up classes. I am sometimes the kind of person that needs to throw money out to hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
The good thing about this experience right now is that, I mean, yeah, granted, I paid to buy my domain and whatever the case.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's taught me that, like, I don't need to do that. I don't have the luxury of doing that right now. And I've actually, you know, I sent you a draft of a script for a short that I wrote over the past 3 days that was haunting me since January. You know, so I don't fucking remember where I was going with this, but it's like I try to do one project at a time. Like, but the blog, I started that just to force myself really to just get into the habit of writing regularly, because I feel as though it's all related. you know, like I sent that post to a comedian friend of mine, and I was like, yo, Yubi, like, shout out to Yubi, he's probably not tuning in, but I was like, yo, I was like, please read this, because like, I know that there are jokes in here. I just don't know, you know, like how to stop.
Yeah, of course.
And he was like, yo, he called me, and he's from Kentucky. He was like, yo, you need to memorize that whole shit. You need to memorize that whole shit. That whole shit's a joke, Lana. And I was just like,
it is.
Oh God. So yeah, it's really just for me at this point about doing one thing at a time, seeing that one project through to completion. While at the same time continuing to sharpen the saw. I finished the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People finally after like 3 years during this pandemic.
Yes.
You know, doing activities to sharpen the saw, like writing for the sake of writing. And reading, because I think reading helps you be a better writer, and meditating and all that shit, you know, all the things that fundamentally will help you be more productive in all areas of your life, and reduce that anxiety, you know?
Yeah.
So
fantastic answer.
Yeah. Hopefully that made sense.
It did make sense completely. We'll do one more question and then we'll go on. I guess this was on my list anyway. Actually, I'm gonna save this one. Joel had a really good question, but it's on my list, so I'm gonna skip it to later.
Okay.
Thanks for the story. Michelle Batista said, thanks for the story, Jason. Good to keep that in the back of my mind when writing. Yeah, I mean, the story I told, I guess, was it's shout out to Gabe. He's the man. I'm gonna see if I can get him on this.
Yeah, I was kind of, even though
truth, baby.
When I took that class, I was like, I know what's gonna happen on day one.
Okay, ruined it for you, right?
But we didn't do it. We didn't do that exercise.
Oh, good.
Do it. Yeah.
You probably knew it was gonna spread around to everybody. Because it was scary as fuck. So let's go into Two Grown. So Two Grown is your web series that you co-wrote, co-created, co-produced, co-directed with Jordan. Shout out to Jordan.
Shout out to Jordan.
I was gonna have both of you guys on, but then I was like, I love you. And of course I love Jordan too, but I wanted to talk about Puerto Ridiculous as well. Like I just felt like that was something that needed its own moment. And I would love to have Jordan on eventually, but I just really wanted to talk about Alana for this. But I love Two Grown. Can you just tell us more about it?
Yeah, well, so Two Grown is a web series.
Yeah.
It's basically loosely based off of my and Jordan's actual lives, loosely based. You know, being creatives in the Big Apple, and just ultimately trying to decide whether or not we have to cave into convention, or, you know, keep taking these ridiculous gigs and keep doing all this craziness to get to where to make our dreams come true, you know? And of course there are distractions along the way. And yeah, I mean, really it's like my first child. It's our first child. You know, we went into it just wanting to make something for us. Because we were kind of getting sick of all the auditions that we were getting and the roles that we were booking. And it's like, but we want to be funny, you know, like we wanted to be funny. We wanted to be silly. We wanted, you know, we just wanted to be us, really heightened versions of us. Cause we believe that we are enough, cause we fucking are, you know, and it was both of I mean, I had done some screenwriting, not like, you know, long form, but I had taken, I think, one sketch writing class at UCB before this happened. Not even right before, like maybe like 2 years before. So yeah, it was a challenge, and it was basically an opportunity for us to make something for ourselves and hope that other people liked it, really.
And it got pretty big. Like, yeah, you're trying to be humble.
I mean, it got in front of the right person, you know? It got in front of the right person.
For those who don't know, Two Grown season 1 was self-produced and self-financed and self-created, everything by Alana and Jordan. And it got seen by the right person. She'll explain maybe more about that. But it was eventually picked up to be on BET Digital, which is amazing and huge. And that opened up, I'm sure, to get a bigger and better second season, which you have out. So do you want to talk about that a little bit, what that was like?
I mean, so the whole BET experience really was, it just stemmed from us making a thing and trying to market it to anyone in any, you know, figuring out how to get it out through, you know, MailChimps, eBlasts, all that stuff, our social media. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, the gentleman who wound up getting us into the doors of BET was someone that followed Jordan on Instagram and like slid in her DM and was like, hey, let's talk about this. We were like, okay. And then at the time he was with a different network, a different platform. So, you know, that fell through. But then fast forward to like a year later, maybe less, he reached out again and he was like, oh, I don't know if you're aware of my new position, but I would love to have you come in and talk about, you know, Two Grown. And
who was that talking? Like what is coming in and talking about it? Like, was it with like at BET off? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, it was at the Viacom offices. It was at BET.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, in the conference room, and
who was there? If you don't mind me asking,
that particular meeting, it was us and our executive producer. That's what he became. And you know, we just chopped it up for a bit. You know, just kick the shit, or whatever the expression is.
Kick the shit.
Kick the shit. That's a thing, right? It's a thing now.
It's a thing now.
We kicking the shit.
We kicking the shit.
We kicking the shit. So, and then we just spoke about logistics. He was like, okay, so what would you need to do this again? What can I do for you to do this again? Awesome. And I mean, you know, talking monetarily, and we waited and it became
Did you guys give him a number? Did he give you like, what was that?
Not initially.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember, but there was some, you know,
negotiations.
You know, and because for both of us, like season 1 was just we did it as it came, you know, like it's not like we filmed season 1. We filmed like a couple of episodes 1 month, and then, you know, because there was no, we were only being accountable to ourselves. There was no one we had to report to. So, you know, we didn't put crazy pressure on ourselves, and, you know, it cost us money. So we did it bit by bit. But then, so that's why, like, initially in the moment, we didn't know exactly how to respond, because it's not like we had budgeted an entire season the first time around. It just came as it came. So it was, I mean, if anything, it was just like an amazing learning experience.
Of course.
Obviously, working with a network, you have to follow some rules, which like aren't my jam. So that's like, you know, different from self-producing.
Because I mean, they gave you money to do this, right? So there's some obligation to the people who give you the money, rather than when it was just you and Jordan.
It's more than the money. It's more than the money.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's the fact that it's a network and they have to adhere to certain guidelines. Like they basically, we were kind of treated as though we were a television show.
Yeah, and not you are.
And not a web show, which, you know,
you
know what I mean? That was a little bit tricky to sit in initially, but it's like, all right, this is what it is. So let's just do this and get it done, you know, do what we gotta do.
I mean, I love that. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like a lot of content creators want, right? Is that ability to be seen by the most people, and having distribution like that is incredible, you know? So I feel like that's something to be so proud of course. And yeah, I mean, that's an experience that we can all learn from. You know?
Definitely.
yeah, do you have any, like, what was the biggest challenge, I guess, with the whole True Crime experience, like from season 1, season 2, like anything that pops up in your head?
Well, the biggest challenge for season 2, I think, was the fact that we were under a little bit of a time constraint.
Oh yeah.
Like we thought that things were going to happen sooner than they did. And the time constraint really came more so from the seasons, like it getting cold and us wanting to do a lot of exterior stuff. So it's like, we have to get this done, you know?
Now, yeah.
Right. And we wrote more, I believe there were more, there was more to get done in less amount of time. I'll just put it that way. I'll just put it that way. So for me, I think that was the biggest challenge. Other than that, it was pretty much the same experience. Like obviously having done a season, we knew more or less what we were doing.
Yeah.
And we did season 1, we wore all the hats. I think we had a PA for a couple of episodes in season 1, but other than that, it was me, Jordan, our DP, and a sound person and their boom operator. And that was basically it. There were no other hands on deck. So having a little bit more support for season 2, but even with season 2, we didn't up the ante that much when it came to crew. So and there were bigger episodes, like more people, more bodies to be, to account for more. And I think also innately, well, you've been on set for huge, network productions, right? Like it's hurry up and wait. It's hurry up and wait, right? It's hurry up and wait. And I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I'm not, but you do a lot of waiting without really knowing like what's going to happen and when it's going to happen, and you're there till it's done, right? And it's out of your control.
It's out of your control, yeah.
So for us, knowing that that's how it is in the real world, we were concerned for all, like we wanted to make sure that everyone was okay, really. And we wanted to make sure that like no one felt like, they were being neglected or that they were waiting around or whatever the case. We were very cognizant of, people's time. And,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, which again, in the real world, that's not always the case, unless you're like number 1 or 2 or 3 on the call sheet. It's just not. That's just the facts. You're there to get in front of the camera when they set up the lighting for you, when you do your job and you leave. So yeah, we cared about people's feelings.
You did, because I was fortunate enough to be a guest star on season 2, which was so awesome. I was so appreciative. You guys are so flexible, like working on my schedule. I think it was only on set for like 4 hours. Like it wasn't like I was there all day. Like
you fucking killed it. No. Well, you did. It
was a lot of fun. I was so nervous that day. It's like when you are working with people that you love personally, like it's like more pressure sometimes, I feel like, because you like don't want to fuck up people's stuff, like it's like I know you guys are on a limited time budget, like I know limited time, you don't have a big budget, like you don't want to be fucking up people's shit,
right?
And so I'm cursing so much, but
it's fine. I guess I bring it out in you.
That's me naturally. It's me trying to compress it in.
I agree. Like I am more invested in, and I have more nerves when it comes to people who I love and their projects and impressing them and not letting them down than I do for someone that I don't know.
And the thing also is like, which I'm not sure how many people who are watching have done TV and movies versus like stage plays, but you have so much more time when you're working on a play. Like you have all this rehearsal time, you get to work with the director a lot, like you have a lot of time to explore your character, at least most things that I've been in, even like, you just have more time. There's like a lot more time, a lot more working with the director, working with your fellow actors. When you're doing TV and film, it's literally like you get your scripts a couple days before, if that much, and you know, they call you on set, you do a rehearsal before they set everything, you do rehearsal, then you go back, and then that's pretty much it. There's not much time to sit with the director, not much time to talk about your character. I'm guessing like maybe like Meryl Streep and like Leonardo DiCaprio, Will Smith.
Right.
They get to do all that shit.
Exactly.
But the rest of us,
when you're in for an under 5, you know, it's just like, okay,
when you have your 2 lines, you know, it's like, I get those 2 lines right away, you know. And I remember I was playing that crazy casting director in season 2, episode 1 with you. And I remember it's such a funny, it was so well written, such a funny role. And like I'm naturally more inclined to comedy, just the way things are. But I didn't want to fuck up your shit. Like,
no, it came out. You brought so much life to it.
It was so much
life to it. So much life to it, which is, I mean, that's exactly what we needed, and you killed it. You exceeded our expectations.
How was it working with such a big ensemble? Like a big ensemble. Like, I know you had so many guest stars. Like every episode, I feel like you had a bunch of guest stars. Even in season 1, it was like,
oh God, why? I can't really remember how many. I felt like, season 2, I think what was different in terms of numbers was like we had more people in scenes at once. As in season 1, there were episodes where we had a lot of people, but like it was more like this happens in this happens. This happens in this beat. This person is in this beat, you know? So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But of course, you know, like we wanted everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
Before us, you know?
One of my favorite,
before our happiness. So
of course. One of my favorite episodes is with Holly, when she's like your fitness instructor.
Yo.
Oh my God. So like
I wrote that for her.
That was gonna be my question. So like, did you
for her.
So was like these guest stars, were they written with certain people in mind? Is that how you write? Or was it like, I know I need somebody like that's gonna be like very eccentric and like a diva over the top. Oh, this person might be good for that. Like, what was your process like?
So season 1, I personally, because you know, Jordan wrote some episodes, I wrote some episodes.
Yeah.
I personally wrote 4 people. Yeah. Like I had friends in mind, because God bless our community, God bless our tribe. You know, the Studio 4 Michael Warner community just, you know, brought so many talented people into my life. And those, I'm pretty sure every episode that I wrote specifically for people from our community.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone who wasn't, and I can't think of one person right now from season 1.
Which is funny, right? Because like that's what happens on like Hollywood. Like people write for their friends, and they pull their friends into shit, you know?
Right. And then you have, you know, anyway, yes. The short answer is yes. So yes, for season 1, that's how I wrote. And then season 2 also a little bit, but I knew that I had to be flexible. Like, for example, there was, for a certain role, there was someone that I really wanted, but you know, we shot non-union. It was a non-union
and they were
production for season 2. I mean, and season 1. So I had to be flexible. But you know, the person who did, you know, wound up taking that role fucking blew it out of the water. So I mean, the other person would have too, but I'm just, I had to be flexible in that way. So it was less intentional for a particular human and more intentional for the juxtaposition of their character and me and Jordan's characters.
Yeah.
So that was, if I'm gonna, that's the best way I can think about it. I thought more in terms of like tropes than in terms of like a specific person or voice, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. Since you and Jordan wrote together, and you're saying like you wrote some episodes, Jordan wrote some, and then like what was that like, that process like?
Generally I would, you know, each of us, like let's say I was writing the episode, I would send it to her for notes, she'd give me her notes. You know, we'd come to agreements, we'd compromise, and then take it from there. We were very trusting of one another's individual voices when it came to certain episodes. I think it also added a little bit more color to the seasons overall, because you can kind of I don't want to say that you can tell who wrote what, but it just made it more diverse, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It made it more, I don't know, colorful is really the only word I can think of.
It's a good word.
Yeah. So, that was basically how the process worked. And then vice versa. Like she would write a script. I would give her my notes, and same thing, we would compromise and always do our best to meet in the middle. I will admit that for me, they're like, you're a writer, right? As a writer, sometimes we are married to certain things. Yes. And if there was something that, especially I, as we already discussed, I am definitely more of like the out there, over the top, like I'm gonna say this shit, I'm gonna call this shit out because it needs to be called out. I feel like it needs to be called out. Or this is a thing that everyone thinks and no one says, and this is why it needs to be in here. Yeah. So there were more moments for me that I was married to things, and I was like, no, sorry, that's not negotiable.
Yeah. Which you have to be sometimes. I feel like you have to, because I'm always open to feedback. I love getting feedback. I don't feel I'm at the place where I trust myself 100% yet. Right. I've written so much. Right.
But your instincts never lie. And those were the moments that I'm like, no, this, it might not read well on the page, but I promise you, when it's put all together, like I already see it. I know exactly what I want. Yeah. And I know how it's going to land. I know how that joke's going to land. I know how it's going to hit, and I trust myself. So you have to trust yourself.
You do.
Anyway, sorry. I just got passionate.
No, I love that. Because that's what I was going to say. Because I'm always open to feedback. But there's some things where I'm like no, like I know in my gut, like that's the way it has to be. Yeah. And I'm gonna it's lucky because I usually write by myself. Like I've never really had the opportunity yet to work with other people on something that's been produced. So I'm looking forward to that experience. I'm a little nervous about that experience because I've been so fortunate and to work by myself. But yes, we can take a couple of questions. Okay, yeah. If you're okay with that.
Absolutely. I'm looking at my phone. My shit's on airplane mode. I did that because it was ringing.
It's okay. We have so many people watching. Thank you. Michelle said Alana for president. I just have to say, my 6th to 8th grade music teacher, Miss Patterson, is watching, and she was so influential. I remember I wrote this horrible adaptation of Cinderella.
Oh my! When?
And 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, I can't remember honestly. Maybe 6th grade. I think it was 6th grade. It was probably a little bit after that Brandy and Whitney Houston one. I was like, I want to do this. Let me write my own version. And I remember giving it to Miss Patterson and being can we do this as a spring show? And she was so kind because I'm sure she was looking at this and is this is 6th grade trash right here. But she never made me feel less than. And I'm not sure she's still watching.
Gotta nurture. She nurtured you.
She is so nurturing.
That's so important for artists.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Patterson, if you're still watching. Greg Love kicked the shit. He did praise that. My friend Tandrea asked, which process did you enjoy more, self-production or being under BET? Great question.
That is a great question.
Yeah.
That is a great question. I think for different honestly, they're not really comparable. Yes, I loved self-production because it was I'm gonna do what I want, I'm gonna shake my ass, I'm gonna show my I'm gonna do what I want. But at the same time, with a backing, it felt so much more real. It felt I feel like I got some cred in this game,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
It was like a stamp of
I brought it up a level,
Right, exactly. It was getting to another level. Yeah, Super Mario and shit.
And I think also the I'm not sure if it's the best thing. I was gonna say the cool thing. I'm not sure. I'm like, my vocabulary is so limited right now.
Me too.
But the fact that you said you're so hungry.
My cognitive function is not functioning because she needs food.
Oh, same thing.
We'll get it.
We'll get it.
We here. We in the clear, baby.
No, but I was gonna say it's just as someone who self-produced my web series,
right?
Knowing like how much it cost, and like I'm not sure if this is exactly what you did, but like I didn't have a fucking budget when I did this. It kind of was like, I saved this amount of money,
right?
Blah blah blah. Let's do this.
This is like, what I can afford. This is
but then
can you do this? This is what I can afford to pay you, right?
Yeah,
like that's how it was.
And I was fortunate. Like my actors were so kind and so generous that they worked for free. You were on Shaw, like, and you dedicated a whole fucking long ass day. Which I'm so thankful for. You were so great. That was a great day. She played my love interest. That was a great day, wasn't it?
That was a great day.
I was on 2 hours of sleep that day.
I remember, Jason. I remember. Yeah. I was like, yo, this man is he's not playing with these hoes.
Yeah. No, but I had Carrie. Like Carrie held it down.
You guys were great.
Everybody was so great.
Professional. No, but you didn't take shit. You didn't take shit either. Like you were your beautiful, bubbly, loving self, but you were also like, nah, like we're not doing this because we need to get this done. And that you need to be like that. You need to be like that, because especially actors, man, we chatty Cathys, like we want to have fun. We want to play. That's what we do. We play, but sometimes you got to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And let the director work,
Yeah.
It's distracting. It's too much noise, especially when you're on 2 hours of sleep over here. You probably had a migraine and shit.
That was a crazy day because we had such a huge, that was like 11, 12, 13 people that were in that scene. Right. Anyway, you guys can watch it.
Yeah,
but,
watch it.
Yes.
Right. What else?
That was a good question from Tandrea. Farron said, 2 of the most beautiful people.
Oh, Farron! Oh my God. Hi, Farron.
Thank you, Farron. Thank you guys for watching.
He's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. So
we
have a couple more questions.
The first acting class I had with Andrea, shout out to Farron, and I saw Farron. Farron did, I don't know, we were doing activities maybe. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta level up. That's how Farron made me feel. So shout out to Farron. She's a boss.
She is a boss.
And she's a bomb-ass poet. Okay, let's go. I'm getting in my feelings.
She's such everything. She's everything. She's everything great in this world. I miss you so much. Inspirations. Can you talk about that?
Oh my God.
Who inspires you?
Oh my God.
Who guided you to be this incredible human being that you are right now?
Okay, relax.
You are. I would never say anything I don't mean.
I know.
Especially to you.
I mean, okay, so I don't want to tell you my life story because this is literally the last thing 10, 11, 12-year-old Alana Johnson would never have thought that she'd be doing this ever. Like she thought she was going to go to Harvard Law School. I wrote about it to my 6th grade. Like that was not too late. That was my plan. You know how expensive that shit is unless they're taking my ass for free shit.
Yeah.
JD for free. Okay. Anyway, so I mean, in terms of like artists that inspire me, I wrote a whole bunch down. This is kind of like overlapping with the creators question, but like Gina Rodriguez, Sandra Bullock. Like if I have to think about like actors that, I really fucks with. Sarah Silverman for comedy. Obviously Issa Rae.
Love Issa Rae.
Who else? I mean, I have a whole list, but I want to save it. I want to save it too for the other questions. But yeah, I mean,
basically strong ass women.
Strong ass women. And honestly, every single sleepover in 5th grade, me and my friends would watch Selena. Every single sleepover, probably 5th and 6th grade, probably for like a few years. And so I have to say J-Lo. I have to say J-Lo because like, I mean, as far as I was concerned, she was Selena. But yeah, that was, I remember just being, there was a very specific feeling of admiration and adoration I got as a child from watching that movie over and over again. And so that definitely if I think about it, is an inspiration. She's an inspiration.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Just life, things that happen to me are my biggest inspiration, because those are the things that like I feel I have to share and repurpose. You have to write what you know, right? And I'm the type of person that, as we mentioned earlier, certain things will haunt me. They say that you're as sick as your secrets. I want to be sick. I'm trying to let that shit out, and I'm trying to empower myself by once it's out, it loses power over you, right? So in letting go, I am empowered, and the way that I let go, I choose to do on public forums like blogs and
I love it.
Writing a web series, and writing whatever else I can write.
Have you faced some challenges? I'm just dumbass questions. I'm sure you have, but I guess what are some of the challenges you faced as a woman in this industry, a woman of color in this industry, like biracial woman in this industry?
Well, I mean, being multi-ethnic, I feel like is a challenge that I experience every single day, because I wake up and I'm like, what am I? Who am I? What? But especially because people always tell me what I am, or people have told me what I was. I was always, growing up, I was, I was, why do you talk like a white girl? You're a fake Puerto Rican, shit like that. So that, and I was very sensitive. So that stuff really upset me as a kid. Like I definitely had identity issues as a child. But I also feel like those identity issues give me such an awesome voice
Yeah.
to put out into the world. So I'm grateful for that stuff. But as far as, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Just challenges as a woman of color in this industry.
I can't really, the only thing is, obviously, I feel like as an actor is typecasting. And I don't even necessarily think that is a challenge. I think that, they say that being pigeonholed in the beginning, like that's how it is. And, once you are able to succeed in that, because I mean, basically, like, casting directors kind of tell us who we are, right? We have to live up to the idea, at least initially, live up to the idea of what the casting director thinks that we are, so they'll fucking hire us for the only roles they're allowing us to be seen for in the beginning. So, but yeah, even that hasn't been a huge obstacle for me. Like, I've had some amazing auditions, haven't booked them yet, but so yeah, I don't really, and not for nothing, I feel like this is our time. Like, it's the time for diverse voices. Like diversity is trending. Okay, it's trendy right now, and I think networks are realizing that. I mean, look at like Jordan Peele's films, okay, and how they kill it in the box office. I don't know numbers. I don't know statistics. Don't ask me that shit. But I know he be blowing motherfuckers out of the water. Look at, I remember when Girls Trip came out.
Oh, yeah.
That blew it out of the water. And I think a very similar film came out around the same time, starring a cast of very well-known white women.
Yeah.
And it did not do nearly as well.
What was that called? Like Girls' Night or something?
I don't remember. I didn't even see it.
If anybody knows what that movie is called, feel free to write in the comments.
And I love all the actors. I love all the actors that were in that movie as well. But the fact is that we are people of color. They are a target audience now because they show up.
Yeah.
And the networks are realizing that now.
I watched that show Rami. Have you heard of it?
I have. I actually went to college with him. I don't know if we
really
met.
Did we ever talk about this?
He went to Rutgers. I don't know if we met there, but anyway, I'm famous by association. That's my thing.
Aren't we all? Since all our friends are getting like hugely famous,
right? Right? They over here they gifs and shit on Instagram. Can you stop?
Oh my gosh! No, I just watched that show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, and just I remember just sitting there like watching, and he's like an Egyptian American, like Arab dude, and you know, the show is like so specific in that he's like searching for this higher meaning and like trying to balance his life as a millennial and his religion. And it's so specific, right? But then it was so like relatable,
right?
In the same way, and I'm like, this is so fucking good that we're like having a show like this on TV, which is number one. It was great. It was fantastic.
I mean, he won a Golden Globe.
He won the Golden Globe, and this was like I watched it after that. I was like, I remember the Golden Globe. I was like, what is this? Whatever. But I watched it, and I was just so happy. Like that like excites me. It makes me so happy.
Absolutely.
We have such great content, and it's not just white people. Like, you know,
and they say that, you know, the more specific, the more relatable.
Yeah.
The more specific, the more universal.
Yeah.
You know? So that's clearly a testament to that. So I have not watched it. I should watch it. I have no excuse right now. So I will.
There's so much shit to watch though. It's like
there is.
We're so fortunate to live in this time of great TV, but there's so much of it all the time.
Yes.
No one knows that movie. I'm like, it's like I'm getting these. I'm getting question marks. There was a movie though. I think it was like Zoe Kravitz was like the only like woman of color in it, and it was like
Alana Glazer was in it. I think Scarlett Johansson was in it.
Oh, that's why.
McKinnon was in it. Yes.
Yeah,
Really. It was the premise was that they were going to Vegas it was like the female Hangover, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think they were going to Vegas for a bachelorette party. Yeah. But ain't nobody know about it because it didn't do as well as Girls Trip.
Yeah. Cool. I want to talk to you about what we do outside of being a creator.
So outside of being a creator, I am a personal trainer.
That's how you make your dinero when you're not working on acting.
Exactly. I have people pay me to tell them what to do, and there's no bigger joy that I get than from controlling people. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I am I've always been into fitness. It just seemed like I wanted to get out of waiting tables is what it came down to. And to me, it just seemed like the next best, not the next best, but you know, the best
something
outlet
you
for
love,
me.
right?
Right.
You've always been so into fitness, and like it's nice to do something that you love and get paid for it.
Exactly. Yeah. You just thank you for answering that, because I don't have.
I didn't mean to overtalk. I didn't mean to speak to you. Sorry.
But you know me, and that was beautiful. So that
I just know because, you know, before COVID, I was a server. And I know what it's like to want more. So,
I mean, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. You know, it was scary. It was scary because I had been waiting tables on and off for a decade. So it was like, you know, my next long term, because I've had jobs, you know.
Yeah.
I had jobs. I had office jobs. And that's when, you know, that's when I felt my soul falling out of my ass. I had a friend once tell me like, yo, Alana, you don't belong in an office. You don't even belong inside.
That's rude as fuck.
I found it hilarious. I was like, you're right. I don't belong inside. I need to be wild and free. But anyway, I get to wear sweats. I get to wear sweats to work. It's the shit.
I've been wearing sweats for 3 weeks.
I get to help people. It's not, you know, I was joking earlier about controlling people, but anyway, I get to help people. And I do get a lot of joy. I do. I wake up on the days, you know, pre-COVID, that I had to wake up at the ass crack of dawn, and I'd be like, I don't want to fucking do this. Why do I do this? But as soon as I show up to my client, as soon as I see my client, as soon as I start working with them, I'm happy, and it's worth it. It's worth it to help people literally get stronger and literally improve themselves. You know what I mean? Like, and they love me. They love me.
I mean, who cannot love you, girl?
Well, there are people.
Ellie, my friend Ellie said when Alana said J-Lo was going to come in, that she has that inner redactable energy that J-Lo has. He did like 5 of those. I have no muscle, but he did. Yeah.
This one?
Like the thumbs.
This one.
This one, yeah. This one, yeah.
Listen, when are they doing Enough Part 2? Can they cast me? Thanks.
Enough Part 2. Yes. The movie, Tandrea told us the movie's called Rough Night.
Rough Night. Thank you.
I was just see it. Is Kate McKinnon's in that?
I love
Kate and Alana Glazer.
I love Alana Glazer.
It's an all-star cast. And y'all try to watch that.
Cast.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it like Latifah, Pinkett, Haddish, and Regina
Hall. Yeah.
They didn't do it like them.
If you could be, since we're in COVID. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, go.
No, I was gonna say, since we're in COVID, if you could be trapped with any 5 creators, well known or not, who would you choose?
All right. So this was really hard, and I hate you. Remember I told you before we got on, I was like, oh my God, I should think about this. I have like 20 names written down and I can only pick 5. Okay, so I'm going to pick randomly. Well, Sarah Silverman, she's one of my favorite comedians. There's so many people on this list. Michelle Buteau, she's another one of my favorite comedians. Lena Waithe.
Oh my God.
Shonda Rhimes.
Oh my gosh.
And Mindy Kaling.
Oh.
That would probably be the 5. I had singers on there and two, because I'm like, wait, maybe I should pick like an all-star actress and all-star singer, because that way I could get different advice from these people, but they probably divas. So I'm gonna stick with the comedians, because comedians are all fucked up in the head like me, and we can relate. So yeah. That's
a great list. That's a phenomenal list. I love Mindy. I love Shonda. Shonda's like, I need to take that masterclass with Shonda they have online.
Yes.
Somebody wants to gift that to me. I'll definitely take that.
I love her so much. I might have a connect.
Ooh.
I might have a connect. I'll keep you posted.
You keep me posted, please. So that was a great list. I don't want to keep you too long. I know we've been going for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you really quick. I have 2 more questions. I think I'm going to cut down to 2 more.
Okay.
Going on this iteration, or no, I'm gonna say, what are you doing after COVID's over? I'm trying to be positive. Long story short, what are you doing after? Like, what's the next step for Alana? When we get to step outside, we get to embrace, we get to travel. Like, what's the next step for you? Broadway comes back, movies come back. Like,
I mean, if I'm being honest, one of the things I'm looking forward to getting back in the gym, because that's my like safe space. I'm looking forward to getting back on stage. Because I need to, I've written a bunch of new material since we've been, I don't know if it's any good because I haven't tried any of it out, because you really don't know how to deliver a joke until you try it out in front of real human beings. Yeah. So that I look forward to doing. And I also, I sent you a draft of that, of a short that I've been haunted by, of scenes of a story that I've been haunted by. So I'm looking forward to like hopefully figuring out next steps for that.
Nice.
And getting back to my clients and getting these coins, because we need these coins to make things. We need these coins to make things. I need these coins to go. I need these coins to go to class. I need these coins for the headshots. And we need, as actors, it's a very big investment in ourselves. Like we constantly have to invest in ourselves if we want it. And I fucking want it. So let's go. Let's do what we got to do.
I love that. That's such a good takeaway. Like simple and honest, invest in yourself.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to keep doing.
My last question, I think, is going to be your quarantine top 5 recommendations that our viewers, other artists, other creatives need to check out.
Damn.
What's Alana's top 5?
This was another thing that I forgot to think about this one. Okay, well, I will start with, so Shonda Rhimes' book. The
Year of Yes?
The Year of Yes.
I love that book. I was about to reread that again.
I read that recently, so I do recommend that. I do like to do. I like to read self-help. Along the lines of success. So like Think and Grow Rich, or The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Wait, Think and Grow Rich?
Think and Grow Rich.
Grow Rich.
By Napoleon Hill. And then also The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I forgot who wrote that, but
yeah,
I finally finished it. It's kind of boring. I'm not going to lie. I wish I purchased it in paper and not on my Kindle, because I think it would have been easier for me to get through.
I lost my copy.
Yeah.
And I only got to the funeral part, and I was like, "Oh, this is too heavy."
Oh shit. What's another book I'm trying to think of? I know it doesn't all have to be books, but I do like to read, which is ironic. Oh, I read this book recently. It's a short read.
Mm-hmm.
It's a short read. It's called I Hear You.
You know who it's by?
No.
I can look it up.
I don't know who it's by. Yeah, look it up. Look it up and post it in the comments.
I'll put all these in the comments for you guys.
It's called I Hear You. I'm pretty sure if you search it, it's I Hear You, and then something about like the one thing to get successful relationships.
Gotcha.
It's basically a short read on how to validate people, because anyway, just read it. I don't want to get into too much exposition, but I think that literally, if you want to have healthy relationships with in any capacity, be it business, be it romantic, be it friendship, you should read this book, because we do not communicate like it is default in our nature to like, let's say, you know, I'm crying, right? I'm crying over something, right? The first thing that people will say to me is, you shouldn't be crying. Stop crying. Yeah. The second you do that, you're telling me that this reaction and this feeling that I'm already experiencing, which is very real to me, is wrong. Is wrong. Yeah. I know. I saw that. Lucy, sit down, sis.
Lucy, leave me, please. I love you, girl. Relax.
So yeah, that book really resonated with me. And honestly, like the little tricks the tips that I've gotten I've already implemented into like my everyday conversations with people. And people are so much more receptive and are so much more willing to open up when you just tell them, damn, you know what? If I were you, I would feel the same way. Damn, you know what? That sucks. That is rough, not diminishing it, not saying like could be worse. Fuck you, it could be worse. This is awful for me right now. And you're telling me it could be worse? Why am I going to want to open up to you now? You're making me feel like I am wrong innately as a human being. And that's a feeling that, I experienced a lot as a kid. So it's just read it. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. It's fucking, and then the fifth, God damn it. I never watched Californication. It was suggested to me, and I've been binge watching
David
that.
Duchovny.
Yes, dude, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Like the writing on that show and his delivery, I'm just like, yo, like.
I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of that, but one of my old roommates just always watched that show.
Yeah. So I just gave you a bunch of self-helpery and then a show about fucking.
Yes, give me any of the self-help.
Balance. So that's it. That's what you got. That's what you get from me.
Yes. So I'm going to read, if anybody has a last minute comment or question, send it in right now. But I'm going to take 2 or 3 more comments from our viewers, and then we're going to wrap up. I thank you so much.
Of course.
It's been so good talking to you. I can literally talk to you for 4 hours.
We've done it. We've done it.
Tandrea said, what do you do to cure writer's block?
Oh, girl. You just have to get okay. Lin-Manuel Miranda had a beautiful quote about this. Basically, like you have to just get it. You have to just force yourself to write until, basically it's like turning on the sink and you have to let the brown water come out before it gets clear. Right?
Get that shit water out.
You gotta get that shitty shit. You gotta get it out before you get the goodness. So it's just, the first draft of anything you do is going to be trash, and writing is rewriting, all these cliches, they're just so true. Writing is rewriting. So you have to just sit down, do some positive affirmations, tell yourself that you love yourself and that you're beautiful and that you're brilliant, that you're a prolific artist, and just get whatever it is that comes out. And then eventually you will write the right thing,
Facts.
I'm saying this more for me than for you. Okay.
No, I mean,
so cause I need to hear this shit too. So thanks for the reminder.
Do you have any rituals when you sit down to write?
Oh,
Andrew had a follow-up.
coffee. Too many coffees. Coffee. It's not good. It's not good. I will, like, honestly, it's not good, but I do find that I think better when I'm like constantly doing something, whether that's sipping water, whether that's sipping coffee. Don't take this advice. Whether that's like eating chips, like the repetitiveness of something mundane stimulates me in a creative way, oddly enough. So instead of that, like, do some push-ups, jump rope for 5 to 10 minutes, do something, do an action that you can repeat, you know, a good one versus, you know, eating fucking Tostitos like me. And that's helpful. That's helpful.
Ellie said, I hear you. The Surprisingly Simple Skill by Michael S. Sorensen. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you, Ellie.
Yes, I'm telling you. Every human being should read that book. I'm telling you. It's so simple.
Yes. Lucy reacts when you say something she agrees with. So you on point, girls. This is Greg. Okay, we on point.
Okay.
And Carrie said helpery. That's the best made up word ever. Awesome.
Self-helpery?
Self-helpery.
Yeah, yes. You know, I'll be making up words and shit. Call me Shakespeare.
I think that's all the questions. I'm just going through one more time, make sure I didn't forget anything.
All right.
Yeah, there's so many good people that tuned in. You have so much good knowledge, girl. Like, you are like a fountain of knowledge.
I love you. You're a fountain of fucking excellence.
Thank you.
Don't you side eye, half eye roll me. After this COVID, I'm gonna come for you and Lucy.
Oh, please. No, come. I miss you.
I miss you too.
Yes, I'm gonna close out. I think I just had 3 things I wanted to just say. Again, thank you, Alana. Like, you are a gift.
You're a gift.
You can rewind this, and all the stuff I said about you in the beginning stands. Like, you know how I feel about you, and I thank you so much for being on here with me, for being so open and genuine and kind. Don't leave yet. I just want to.
I won't, but I have to pee, so hurry the fuck up.
Oh yeah. I wanted to shout out. Power Broke Girls. If you guys, that's Michelle and Zori's podcast called Power Broke Girls. Check it out. They had this really good episode with our friend Fran about aging and how aging is a gift. And I just thought that was such a beautiful message. I love that they're so genuine and they're just like,
yes, I have to watch it.
You watch it, listen to it. They're fantastic. And then if you guys are looking for like something fun on the weekends and like when you're in your house, like cooking or washing dishes, my friend DJ Arrow has a SoundCloud. He has like a live thing on Sundays at 5:00 where he does like a great like DJ set. It's not just him playing fucking Spotify like I can do. He actually is like a real DJ. He mixing shit. Like, it's great. He did a live like a couple weeks ago at like 1:00 in the morning, and I was like jamming. I was like feeling it. I was like, yes. Yes. And then I had a quote I want to close out with that I saw on my phone. I screenshotted it, and then I'm just going to read it really fast. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable it is, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. And that's by Martha Graham. I saw that and I was like, holy shit, I need to take that and I need to share that because that's facts upon facts upon facts.
Absolutely.
Tuesday, Joel Ramis is going to be my special guest.
Joel.
He is fantastic. Yes, so tune in on Tuesday. And I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for your comments. Alana, again, I thank you. I appreciate you. And yeah, anything you want to say before we go?
I love you.
You gotta pee.
I know I do have to pee. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And yeah, I'm just grateful. We got to connect, and hopefully people, you know, got some takeaways from all of this. So
I mean, I got
Porta-ridiculous.com, by the way.
Yes, her new blog. I'm gonna put all that in the comments. I'll put Chigo on there. I'm gonna put everything in there. Put your vibe.
It's new. I owe y'all some content. But I was working on this script, so I was like, now I gotta give you guys Got to give you guys some more ridiculousness.
Yes,
so it's coming.
It's so ridiculous. I love it. Thank you, Alana. You stay safe, stay healthy.
You too. Love you.
And yeah, I love you, boo.
All right.
We will be in touch.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Love you guys. And you can definitely watch this on YouTube tomorrow.
Yay! Okay, bye. I'm leaving.
All right. Bye.